So anyway, watched and rewatched the video, and I'm actually going to post on my channel a play-by-play, because I haven't seen this anybody doing this on YouTube or anywhere. Just a play-by-play, frame-by-frame reworking of the actual video, the events that occurred, and how these Madison police murdered this man. Parent. They tried to say that the taser deployed did not work when he collapsed after getting hit by the taser. And you can see and hear that the female officer who deployed the taser on him deployed both sets of, there's multiple sets of taser prongs in a taser. I think there's some models go up to like 4, but she deployed 2 sets of taser prongs. That's 4 altogether, because one set of taser prongs is 2 prongs. And you could hear her just deploy 2 of them. There's a bang bang. There's accelerant in some models of them that shoot them out pretty quickly. It's a non-lethal. She was point blank also with the taser, just as the cop who shot Cory Ruiz was point blank with his gun. But after getting hit with the taser, he collapsed, and you don't see anywhere in the video Cory Ruiz having stabbed the officer. He did have a knife on him at the time, but he also had hands on him the entire time. It looks to be like if any officer was injured, it's just that, you know, Cory Ruiz flailing around with a knife, he might have gotten scuffed in the battle. But you don't really see on camera anywhere where the officer was stabbed. And if he had been stabbed, Cory Ruiz was shot way after the fact. The officers, there's 3 male officers that are struggling with Ruiz. The female officer deploys the taser on Ruiz. Ruiz falls to the ground. The officers have him down at that point. And then the rather obese male officer gets up, pulls back with his gun, and fires 3 times point blank to his head, to Ruiz's head. And it's just amazing how horrible it is. And then the cop's attitude after it, he does this little power hop when he puts his gun away, and another cop comes up. Ruiz is dead at this point. 3 shots to the head. I don't see how he was even responsive. Although they said they took him to the hospital and he was later reported dead, I don't see how he was responsive at that point. 3 point blank gunshots to the head. And you can see blood coming out, streaming down the concrete. Yeah, the cop puts away his gun, does this little power hop up, spins around, goes and talks to another cop, and he's checking his hands, I guess for the stab wound or something, but it looks like he's saying, "I'm okay." The knife in question was like standard, it looked like serrated kitchen knife that Ruiz had, and after Ruiz is down, you see one of the cops grab it and toss it away. It amazes me the gall of the officer that shot him. Ruiz was already down. He had 4 taser prongs in him, and he was on the ground. I mean, there were 3 cops with hands on him, and then the female officer was also deployed the taser, could have been tasing him more, but she stopped at some point, probably because they had him down. And when you have contact with somebody who's being tased, you're also getting tased. The one thing to note about the shooting in the aftermath is that State Representative Francesca Hong, who's actually running for governor right now, who's the only candidate for governor to actually come down to the area where it happened make a statement, show up, and she'd been there pretty consistently since after she first showed up. There's at least 3 different videos I've seen where the daylight is changing significantly from each time, where she had either been there for hours or had gone back and returned and made statements. A lot of people have said a lot of bullshit. One thing I have been very critical about, you're from India, and there is going to be a night time bro. Okay? Is going nighttime bro. Okay. I'm sorry if English is your second language. That doesn't really make sense in English, but okay. And hello, Carter. We're talking about the shooting in Madison yesterday. I live in Madison. I've been to the Crystal Corner bar where it happened outside of. One of the things that I complained about and have been complaining about for the last couple of years is that the Madison Police Department doesn't have body cams. It's one of the few cities this size left in America where the police aren't mandated to use body cams. Part of the reason for that is there are a lot of what we call pseudo-liberals in Madison. They're not really liberals. They're just kind of like scabs. They like to complain a lot. They like to show up at meetings and just bitch and whine. And a lot of these pseudo-liberals had been arguing for years that the police in Madison shouldn't have body cams because it's unfair to the public. Another argument they make is that the police would just edit the videos later. Well, if they're editing the videos later, there's obvious discrepancies that show up. I mean, it's the same kind of argument that for people who like argue that condoms shouldn't be used because 99% of the time, well, there's that 1% that they don't work, so you shouldn't use them at all because it's not absolutely perfect. It's just like arguing why have guardrails when the guardrails might fail. It's a stupid argument. I'm hoping at this point, and another argument that was made is that there's a cost issue. Madison has a very well-funded police department, and body cams, you don't have to buy Axion body cams at $1,000 to $1,200 a pop. You can get body cams today that are just as good as any Axon body cam out there for $200. That'll give you 15 to 20 hours of recording per camera. Recording time on battery, recording time on memory card, you can go up to like 30 hours if you have 128 gig photo card in it, which they're easy to get, they're easy to use. So the cost argument is absolutely stupid. The public safety argument is absolutely stupid. We know that what am I explaining, by the way? There was a shooting in Madison yesterday. The Madison Police Department executed a young man by the name of Cory Ruiz. He had been spotted, looking into parked cars. The police started chasing him. The police knocked him off his bike with a car. While they were struggling with him, they tased him. He was down. And at the point that they had restrained him, one of the police decided to shoot him point blank in the head 3 times. It was an execution. It was an execution because the officer who shot him had been nicked by a knife that he was carrying earlier in the struggle. But at the point that Ruiz was shot, he was already detained. He was being tased. That's what happened. Holly said hi. "1 a.m. is going in India." Anyway, I was just reading some of the comments and a notification I just got. So anyway, what's going on now is the corner of the Crystal Corner Bar, which is on Williamson, and I forget the cross street name there, but that corner block is being taken over almost hour to hour by protesters. So people are being diverted around it. The police are actually being pretty stoic. You would think they would be more vocal, but they're not really releasing too many statements. They're not getting in anybody's faces, which is a good thing at this point because people are pissed. I'm pissed. It was a more blatant case of execution and murder by a police department than I've ever seen before. And literally, just watch the video. It's very horrifying how they killed this man. Yes, it is serious. And it's pretty devastating for this community. Madison is normally a very peaceful place. There's not a lot of crime here. There's not a lot of vagrancy or nastiness. People are very polite, very friendly here. Downtown, there's kind of a homeless problem, but it's not really that much of a problem in that the homeless population isn't, it's not like they're rotting away at the city or anything. Anyway, we're here at the lab. I'm going to get going to work. Have a good day, but if you see the video of Ruiz's murder online, be sure to share it, get the word out. Later on my channel, probably at about 4 in the morning tomorrow, I'm going to have a play-by-play video of the Ruiz shooting and a more frame-by-frame breakdown of what happened so people can see. I am 50 years old. That's how old I am. Hollywood as movies. I can't read that part. Hollywood as who movies? Interesting name. Ashu, nice to meet you. I'm getting off now. Probably about 4 in the morning Central U.S. time. We're going to do the play-by-play video of the Ruiz shooting.